We're live.
And then he sits up there, and the worst part is, when I walk up to him, he goes, pay 150 gold to pass. And I'm like, you're wearing Daedric armor. Why do you want my 150 gold? You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing steel. You're wearing Daedric armor. Why are you a bandit? You could go save the world. Like, you could take your equipment and because, in Oblivion, they'd be literally, because every stat went up, if you level too much, the enemies would have max stats on every stat. At this point, they're the hero of Oblivion. They should be fighting like Mahunas Dagon. They have better stats than me. It's the only game where you could end up being the weakest person in the entire world because you leveled up so much that every NPC has 100 in every skill and stat. That used to crack me up, man. And then, like you said, in Skyrim, you meet bandits if you leveled up too much with dragon bone armor on. And, for people who are watching the early part here, how the heck did this bandit kill a dragon? You can't even kill a dragon if you're not the Dragonborn. And there's only 2 of us, and then after you complete that one quest, 1 of you. So how are they getting Dragonbone? I'm not selling Dragonbone. I'm keeping it. I'm hoarding it. Me, I'm not sharing my Dragonbone supply. I thought I cornered the market as the only person who could kill a dragon, right? I am the source of the entire Dragonbone market because I'm the only person that can kill a dragon as a Dragonborn, and I run across people with Dragonbone equipment. Unless they found, ancient equipment somewhere because it's from the first Dragon War.
That's possible. I mean, you do find it in chests in some of the dungeons and stuff.
Like I said, that's the only other way. But I still should be cornering the market. It shouldn't be on a random bandit. If you found Dragonbone equipment, you just became the leader of whatever area you're at. That's how much better that equipment is than steel. Technically, you shouldn't even be able to be hurt. You just go oh, apparently I'm the new Jarl. I found a full set of Dragonbone heavy plate. I'm now the Jarl, everybody. That's just the way that works. Everybody's like, I guess so. Wait, go back. Did what? No new game plus, but oh wow. So they're already saying they're not going to support this game. Are you serious? Because DLC's just a maybe? They know it failed. Dude, they know it failed. They know it failed.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started, man. How about that? Okay. I got to get out of here in a reasonable time, so a few minutes early ain't going to hurt anybody.
Oh, let me mute it. There we go.
All right, welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And with that, we'll get started. All right, man. You what you doing there, man?
I'm dad mode. I'm in dad mode, man.
Yeah. All righty. Well, speaking of, I guess every dad loves their kids. Apparently, Avowed is you're supposed to love the jank.
They don't seem to love their kid because the creators of Avowed are already treating it like a redheaded stepchild.
Oh, Avowed won't have enemy scaling, director confirms, but it will have jank. Yeah, it's just that's a bad thing to do, is to come out the door going, yeah, there's some jank, you just gotta love it. You deal with it.
Yeah, not we're gonna fix it, not we're working on it, you just gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Well, given that what we're gonna segue into a little later, man, this game feels like it's already being abandoned, man.
Look, I get it. I get that there's jank in games, and sometimes it is sometimes the most fun part of a game. But I just don't know if that should be what's coming out of the director's mouth, Because if they've already noticed the jank, because normally the jank that we get is stuff they just missed,
Scroll it down a bit. I was looking at something there. I was trying to get a little more, right there. Stop there. But yeah, well, like I said, to just come out and just go, yeah, just accept the jank, that's the attitude of somebody who doesn't give a flip, man. Right?
Yeah.
And that just immediately comes off to me as you already are not excessively concerned about how the game does.
Now,
And,
I will say, as far as the enemy scaling goes, doesn't normally bother me. I actually prefer there to be level zones. I know you sort of mentioned that as well. But
I love dipping my toe somewhere I don't belong. That's fun.
yeah. Now, I prefer when they do sort of zones or ranges. So they go like this area, it will scale, but it's going to stop here, That way you're not too super easy mode, too early. But
yeah, and then other zones start at a certain level.
Yeah.
That's how you set the bar. This zone over here starts at 25.
Yeah.
Or this enemy type is even better when they actually do it by enemy, so it makes more sense. It's like, you're not going to run into a pirate captain that's not level like 30. You know what I'm saying? He's a captain. He's going to be there.
Sort of a FAFO system, and you throw a troll in there, and it's just not supposed to. You're supposed to leave the troll alone for right now.
Which, of course, we won't.
But
dude, I am prone to hunting giants at the start of Skyrim.
I get you.
20
no,
minutes
I mean, it's a challenge. It's like, what can I do to win this battle that I know I shouldn't win? But that's sort of the fun of it.
Hide under a bridge if it's a giant.
Very often that is the answer. To hide under something that's shorter than the giant.
Dude, I'm literally the cute tip for starting Skyrim and killing a giant to level your magic. Aggro it, get under a bridge, and then shoot it in the toes with your spell. Recharge your mana, shoot it in the toes, level your magic. Don't get too close to the edge of the bridge. He's got a big area effect. But yeah, I love it.
Until we get better games where we actually have destructible bridges and stuff, and then you're like, oh, crap.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you can have the strategy of trying to make enemies fall through floors and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like Monster Hunter Wilds, pulling stuff down. But the main thing is that's called an unleveled world, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I thought enemy scaling was a big failure in games to a degree. I get random encounter scaling. You don't want a random encounter with a slime.
Well, I think 100% world scaling is lazy. Now,
yes.
The only reason why I say this is maybe a bit annoying is because of this next part, where the Avowed director confirmed the game follows the Outer Worlds lead to skip New Game Plus, which, when you don't have world scaling, you usually have it in New Game Plus.
Yeah, to make the game more challenging, yes. Because you're now polishing up your build.
Mm-hmm.
And then also it says DLC is a maybe, which is why I said this game, they're saying just accept the jank. They're saying they're not doing New Game Plus. And they're saying that DLC is just a maybe. This game's already dead. They know it. They're not planning for you to play this game long. They probably don't expect most people to bother completing it, like Veilguard. And they know that DLC would probably be a waste of time.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, we watched the gameplay trailer. It feels off, man. It feels like there's not a lot of impact. I don't see myself getting immersed in this game.
Dude, I'm playing Skyrim with the lower rim mod right now. Pat Sweet. The game looks as good or better than Avowed. Avowed looks like a heavily modded Skyrim, but with less immersion, uglier characters, and less effective combat. Because in my game, the combat's wild, dude. The people are dodge rolling, parrying. Like, the mod's amazing. And I looked at the game and said, this looks like the Lorem mod, except not as good as the Lorem mod. And when an old game, I think 2010 or 11 was Skyrim, I'm not sure, and I'm not going to look it up. I don't care. Maybe y'all can get Xeno to do it. I'm being lazy dad, and we're in a rush. But it's like, you should not be able to mod a game that's 14 or 15 years older than this game and still be able to and match it in quality, right? That's not good. To me, that's a big failure.
Yeah.
And that's why the game isn't impressing me. I was going to try to give it a test spin, but now I'm like, I could just keep playing Lorem, man. Like, I could just keep playing, like, Skyrim Lorem, and I don't have mushrooms going out of my head, you know? Like,
Maybe wait for that Oblivion Unreal Engine remake.
Well, no. They've told us what to expect. Avowed 2 will apparently be good.
Oh.
You remember the trailer for Outlaws 2?
Yeah.
The second games
we
they
suck
make
at
are
first.
good.
But
hey,
we're
man,
really
I'm looking
good
forward to
at
Grounded
second.
2. I'm looking forward to Grounded 2. I actually liked Grounded 1, so Grounded 2 ought to be amazing. You know what I mean? So, like, hey, Grounded 2, Avowed 2 will be when they get it right. But they've got to screw up first. Apparently, that's mandatory. But, I mean, what's your opinion before we leave this? Does it feel like they're already giving up with the no new game plus, accept the jank, and we're not even sure, we're going to bother with DLC?
I'll be honest. I mean, with all the comments that have come from this team, I have trouble wishing it well. So
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There's some people that probably need to be reevaluated as employees there, which is a shame because, well, I don't know if you want to segue to that one, because other companies seem to be getting to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, other companies are making moves about this crap. They're not sitting on their hands. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we have 2K Games fires studio head Michael Condrey after disappointing Project Ethos reveal.
I want to emphasize that he was fired and that the game is not out yet, to my knowledge. Like, he was fired ahead of time. That he was preemptively fired. That's new. Let me see what the release date is on that. But that's wild that it's like, yeah, you know, they're starting to be like, you know what? We're not going to sit on and wait on this. See, there was a play test October. What's the release date? Like, what? Come on. Oh, wow. It has no set release date.
Ooh, dang.
So he was fired before they announced the release date for this game. These suckers looked at this and said, we smell a Concord and we're not doing that. You're out.
Ouch.
I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just wild that they preemptively fired the guy. Like, they just looked at it and went, you're fired. Wait, it's not even out yet. It's okay.
Yeah, it says the project's fate is now unclear, although 2K, which is publishing Borderlands 4 and Mafia: The Old Country later this year, says it remains very committed to both Project Ethos and the studio behind it.
That's corp speak for, yeah.
We're trying to fix this stuff to make it at least playable.
No, I think
not a
that's
complete
corp speak
loss.
For, we're going to wait till you forget about it.
That's the other possibility. The other thing is they may actually be trying to make it not a complete loss.
Dude, they've got Borderlands 4. Why bother with this? Just do Borderlands 4 and roll with that.
True.
But I want to say this again. I just realized something. I know we left it, but you know another thing about what that guy said about Avowed being a maybe on DLC was bad? That's not a maybe. These days, these companies start working on DLC before the game comes out. Like, they're usually already telling you, because usually they do season passes, right?
That is
Half
true.
the time these games have season passes where they're already telling you, we're planning this.
But I mean, that's also how we got disappointing DLC for Outer Worlds, the first one, is because they season passed it and they had to make it.
True, but I'm just commenting, though, that I don't think they're going to
They
make
could be
DLC.
learning from Outer Worlds and going, we're not sure about this. Let's not make any promises. You know, same thing with Redfall, you know, where they had to do rebates because they made promises they couldn't keep.
I'll give you that. And that's the thing, is that I agree in that that's a nice popped optimistic way that maybe they're trying to be fair. I'm not saying that I don't think they're going to make DLC, though, because if they're not working on it...
dude, I agree with you just because of what I've seen of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
But at the same time, it does make sense not to necessarily... Right now, at the current... Until they clean house, they need to hold back on making promises.
You don't want to have web novels, podcasts, TV shows.
Oh my God.
Y'all need to watch the last episode. Oh my God, they had so much stuff planned, and then it was like, bah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, give 2K this. 2K, they fired the dude, and the game doesn't even have a release date. That's the earliest termination I've ever seen of one of these types of games, man, where they just went, yeah, he's fired. You don't, what? Yeah, he's fired. We're not even, we already see the writing on the wall,
too many studios are getting hit in the face with their own words. I mean, it's one of those things, man, where you got to be careful at what you say. So, making promises, just not so great. I mean, look at EA. EA tries to claim that Dragon Age Vanguard underperformed due to it not being a live service game.
Well, yeah. I mean, EA is just on fire. Look, dude. EA is one of our contenders for we got to stay in the news and keep effing up. I mean, between Blizzard, Oblivion, and EA doing the, because I mean, look at it. We just left Blizzard, and we're now on. No, we just left Oblivion.
We didn't grab the Blizzard story, I think.
Yeah, we just left Oblivion.
Because I think that was too political, the Blizzard story. So.
Yeah, but there is a Blizzard story. We're just not even bothering. But yes, there is a Blizzard story. We're just like, you know what? You know, you just like.
But I mean, Blizzard and Oblivion to me are in the same house, though. I mean, they're both Microsoft now.
That's what I'm saying. It's a competition.
So you have Microsoft, EA, and Ubisoft, basically. That's your big three that are just trying to stay in the news with F-ups.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job. I mean, they're doing a good job. They're representing, you know, and it's funny because Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, to what I understand, is doing pretty good, though it got curb stomped by the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. They say that beta came in and just like snatched, you know, a chunk of people and blew up.
Well, here's the thing about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I will tell you this, and this is something I can tell you from the first game. It's a slow-paced game. It's not a game you actually want to consume all at once because you will get frustrated. You sort of got to take it easy, go through the game, and just sort of chill. And something else comes out, go play it for a while, and then come back. Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's for one, it's slow. For two, it's huge.
And a lot going on.
For three, it's a history lesson. You know, it's not fantasy. So.
Yeah. So, I mean,
now I will say,
you know,
I've enjoyed it. I've been playing it. It has been fun. It has been annoying at times. You know, I am bad about save scumming, and you cannot do that in Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Work on your alchemy, loser.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, I've got potions, but I mean, it's still not the save scum level, you know.
True.
Look, man, I started picking flowers right away, building up my perk points and my survivalism, and then I went and I was like, what are these perk points for anyway? So I tried to figure out, finally figured out where I spend those. So I go, okay, what's some of the perks under survivalism since I've got such a high survivalism now? Oh, there's this perk that allows me to just find random shit while I'm picking flowers. You can get that because I'm going to pick a lot of flowers. And then there's one, because I didn't do it by default this time, there's a perk that makes your picking flowers build up your strength. It's called Leg Day. And
you got to get that early, man.
Yeah, so I made sure to get that. And now I'm just a flower picking mother. And I make potions and I sell flowers. But I don't even have to sell flowers because I find jewelry. People keep losing jewelry in the flower patches, man. With that lucky find random stuff.
Well, I mean, they miss leg day, so they kind of give out.
Yeah.
You know, they go to drop my.
But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, not bad, man. 256 24-hour peak.
I might. Oh no, the numbers are great for a single player. I mean, it's good for the size of the studio. I mean, you can't expect everybody to be Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong's an outlier. So those are good numbers. I mean, heck, they're better than Veilguard.
Yeah, they said in the first 24 hours they sold more than 1 million copies.
There you go.
Which was enough. Apparently, it's a small enough studio with a small enough budget where that made their money back.
Oh, yeah. It's a very small studio. So for the size, big win. And you know what? Good for them. You know, it's like I was telling some friends yesterday, man, I've looked over what's in the game and what they did. While I don't like the way they handled telling you about the changes and stuff they did, none of it really matters enough to change my opinion about the game. I'm just not a history buff, as you know.
Yeah. And
but I am an immersion buff.
And it's not a live service game. It's a single player.
Yeah. So it's a solid single player that made good money because of the small studio on what it's done.
Probably will sell more copies than Dragon Age Valgard by heap.
Probably already has.
Yeah. Sold 1 million.
I think it's already got more players.
Yeah, sold 1 million in the first day. And I will say, yeah, probably by the end of the month, easily hits 3 million, if not.
Yeah. Well, remember, even when they're lying, they only claimed 1.5 for Veilguard. I don't think they got much more than 1 million if they even got 1 million. I believe Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has already outsold that game. I'm firm in that. I'm not kidding. I believe they've already outsold the game. You've got me convinced. I might snap it up after the show, man. I mean, as much as I'm enjoying Lore Rim, it is heavily modded, which makes it slow to start up and a little clunky. Get a crash every now and then. And you're making me miss leg day, you know? Like, I don't know why, but I enjoy jumping fences and picking flowers at the start of the game to max out before I even start the main game because we're maniacs.
Build up your vitality, pick flowers.
Dude, I maxed my strength stat before I left the freaking tutorial at the start of the game.
It doesn't go that fast this time. I will say it's a little slower on the...
Well, I know. We're also maniacs. You know, we're showing up to do...
It is slower.
In my mind, I imagine Henry walking up to be like, I have a delivery. And he's just huge. He's just like, I have a delivery. And they're just like, holy crap, man. You're the blacksmith's son? What do? Eat the anvils? Pretty much.
But I mean, I honestly, I'm a max stat guy. So like I bought several of the perks like, when in battle, I gain experience for like multiple stats, you know, so I can beat my way through my dexterity, strength, and vitality. Or
if only we could really do that. Never have to hit the gym again.
Yep. So.
All right, let's roll because we're on the clock here.
All right, what else we got? Oh, more layoffs. This one we're a little late behind, but
well, part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it's new, part of it's old, but only a week.
California offices for PlayStation fires an undisclosed number of employees, and
a week ago,
will once again have a single CEO.
That one's a week old. So basically, Sony, you know, had two CEOs. They had a CEO for the Japanese branch and a CEO for the bad branch. California branch, which is the bad branch. Well, Japan was still the boss, and apparently they finally have had enough of this Western gaming nonsense, especially because rumor is there was a big argument over Concord where the California CEO wanted to try to revive Concord, which is just insane. So, no, man, they went in and, like, said, that's it. We're just going back to, we got one main boss. And then a week later, after they make the Japanese CEO the main CEO, they start firing out of the California office, like boom, just slamming it. And they haven't given numbers, but it's implied it's pretty heavy-handed. So, in a weird case, for once, not wanting to make the news for being stupid, but probably it's because it's the Japanese office that's doing it, they are literally going, we're cleaning house, baby. Now, not to be outdone, though, in the stupid race, is if he slides this down, you'll see an incredibly dumb thing that did occur. Because, I mean, anybody would probably say that the marketing and operations head for Concord, Pamela Piscatello, is not somebody you'd want to hire. Because, I mean, it's one of the biggest travesties in gaming, one of the worst failures of a AAA game launch ever seen. But, again, as if they said, well, the companies under us, like, are competing for attention, because 343 Industries Studio hired this person as the, let's see, what position? Product marketing manager for the Halo franchise. The individual who put out the worst first-person shooter type game launch in decades, possibly, for a major game, lost the most money we've almost ever seen for a game. They said, well, that's who we need for marketing.
Now, I will say, it is the marketing person, so maybe they saw that and said, man, this person is able to market this crap. And with a smile on their face, they can tell any lie, we need them.
Dude, what gets me is that Concord's marketing was horrible. The game was hated from the very first second it ever appeared. The first video was horrible. It's like I've never seen a worse marketed game almost.
Well, that's true, man. And to be able to do that marketing without vomiting, I mean, that's pro move.
Well,
there.
I guess if you're looking for someone with no standards, yes, they said, oh, this is a person who will push the worst thing they've ever seen and not even blink. So. And it's just stunning. It's absolutely stunning that it's a real thing. Like, I'm still rocked by the idea that Halo, which isn't doing that great, Halo Unlimited or Universal, whatever the heck the most last one was, didn't do that hot. Like, it picked up eventually, but it didn't really do well. They've had a lot of fails in the Halo game series since 343 took over, and I like that they've decided to go, we could fail harder. You know what I mean? We could fail harder, so they're literally going for let's ramp this up a notch on the fail chart, which is just crazy.
Well, while PlayStation's trying to clean house, they still can't win without some bad news, and that is apparently the PSN network was down for 24 hours this Friday and Saturday.
And let's emphasize that this is the weekend where the second beta for Wilds launched and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 just came out. And for some people, like myself, the primary amount of time they get the game is on the weekend.
Yeah, they a lot of people start Friday night, or Saturday morning.
Stay up late, get up, get some Saturday.
A lot of people lost those hours.
Yeah, and they're pissed. So while Microsoft, 343 did a stupid hire, PlayStation did have their black eye. Now, it doesn't appear to be on purpose for them. There are some wild theories. I don't even know if I want to bother shooting them out yet, though, because they're pretty out there about why.
Well, people correlate things with what's going on. A lot of employees got fired. They're like, oh, angry employees did it, But, I mean, that's so far out there with no proof.
I'm not going to say it's far out there. I believe it's very possible, but
it's pretty far out there, man.
You need proof to say
it. I mean, if they were competent enough to be able to shut down the PlayStation Network, they probably would still have a job.
I don't know. It seems to be pretty easy. PlayStation's had, so many issues over the last week.
One of them Friday on his way out of the office with his box in hand just unplugs the server.
That would probably
And then
work.
It took him 24 hours to find the plug.
Yes. Okay, I've worked in IT. You've worked in IT. You tell me that somebody would not look at it and go, I don't know why it's not working for 24 hours.
That's cruel. Low
and
skill
accurate.
God in the chat room says, you say this is a bad thing, but I got a whole day of Marvel Rivals without any console players on my team.
Good to see you, man. And you're 100% right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but triple healers, though, right? Triple healers.
Oh.
That's a Marvel Rivals thing, man. We were chatting about that. Like, you know, we'll get sidetracked when we get on the Rivals. Though, hey, just in time for Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Girl to be added to Marvel Rivals, along with Johnny and Grimm coming up next, there has been a trailer.
Yeah, so Fantastic Four
And
had
it was a trailer.
new official trailer.
Teaser.
And so, I mean, we get to see a sneak peek of Galactus. Now, they did say there was no trace of the female Silver Surfer, which I'd actually forgot about until this article. So, because I didn't see it in the trailer, and I was like, So
It's okay. There's even without her, the trailer. Oh yeah, you've been saving it. You wouldn't even tell me. So we'll get this revealed to us, Dice Junkies out there. At the same time, what did you think of the trailer?
Oh, man. I mean, I was 50-50 on it. It didn't look horrible. I actually like the time period, sort of alternate history type thing here, because it's supposed to be taking place around the 1960s or so, which I am a old school person at heart, so I really did like how they sort of did the design of a lot of the set and stuff. I didn't care for the design of Ben here, but I mean,
agreed.
Our boy Jarek said he loved it. He really liked the way Ben looked, but I didn't care for it.
I mean,
that was probably my biggest
even
complaint.
his
I don't
design.
really care how he looks.
I don't mind his design. The
And then,
attitude and behavior was weird. I was thrown off by. I know they're trying to do a family scene and he's cooking, but the way he talks and sounds and moves was a little bit odd.
Yeah.
His size also feels really inconsistent. Sometimes he seems big, sometimes he seems weirdly small. Like, I don't have a good feel from this teaser for the size of Ben Grimm.
On top of that,
is he bigger than a normal person? Is he not?
Yeah. On top of that, I'm not a big fan of.
Oh no! I was gonna get on that. Yeah. Go ahead, man. No, me. I hate
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal.
This role.
I
hate Pedro Pascal in this role. Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, looking at the vibe of it, the era, I actually do sort of have a little hope on this. Design wise,
small. Ben seems small. The Johnny flying scene looked good.
But yeah, Ben. I mean, there's Ben next to everybody. He's actually shorter.
He's in the back, but he's still, even if he was a few steps forward, he's not that big.
He may be a little taller, Ben. Yeah, if he took some steps forward, but yeah, not very big.
Yeah,
Which I will say, now in the comics, his size was inconsistent. So, I mean, depending on the era of the comics, you probably had him this size at one point.
It was a bit inconsistent, but he was always much larger than a normal person. It's just how much. Sometimes he was big as the Hulk, and then sometimes he was just a big dude, you know. But
I remember huge variances in the comics, man.
Well, they're going with that because, like I said, here, even though he's standing as far back as Johnny, he only seems to be a few inches taller than Johnny.
I mean, it really just depended on who was the artist, or what run of the Fantastic Four you were looking at.
Yeah, but I didn't see anything that caught my interest. I have to see more, but Pedro Pascal's a huge minus for it. Ben feels a little odd, but maybe it'll be better on screen. But Pedro Pascal is he's not Reed Richards in any way whatsoever. The guy they had play Reed Richards in Doctor Strange's movie was a much better Reed Richards by far. Like to me, he did way better than Pedro Pascal. Let me see. Who was the guy that did that in that movie? You keep going because I know we're on time. I'll see if I can try to quickly grab it.
I mean, not a lot more. We do have a date, July 25th. So, I mean, we'll get to see not too far in the future on whether or not it's any good. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if I didn't have so little faith in the MCU, I'd say it could possibly be good. But lately, Disney and the MCU has failed me over and over again.
All right, there's a link to what I found. And yeah, that was a better Reed Richards. And oh my goodness, the freaking outfit looks better. Like, the outfit even looks better in that one than the one they're using.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I don't hate the outfits. I'm sort of with Low Skill God in the chat there that I'd sort of like the more basic outfits. It is once again, it does feel more comic booky.
Like I said, I'm looking at the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the outfit looked better. The guy is a decent Reed Richards look, especially like some people, I don't know if fan edits frosted the sides, but yeah, the one they had in the Illuminati and spoilers, that movie's been out for a long time, in, Multiverse of Madness is infinitely better. His outfit looks better. That's a cool looking outfit. The guy looks like a scientist. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have done that. Because looking at that, this looks stupid now. I'm not going to lie. Now, looking at that and then now looking at the other one is kind of dumb.
I mean, I think it matches the 1960s vibe, though. I mean, if you're going to go with a period piece, this matches better than that would have.
All right, I'll give you that. That matches how terrible everyone dressed back then. You're not wrong. Hopefully, when it gets to modern times, though, wait a minute, this is a period piece, then how the heck are they're going to parse Galactus, who looks like he was literally on Earth in one of those shots, and is still showing up with nobody knows superpowers existed until, like, the Iron Man and Captain America movie started introducing a concept, because
this is not the same world. It's a whole other universe. They're doing a different universe.
Oh, they're doing the multiverse thing. Oh, yeah. God. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that burns.
Dude, it's the only way you ever end up getting all this stuff together. You're at this point, because so much is made, the only way you get enough of the comics in one place is you play the multiverse game. I mean, they wrote themselves into a hole.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories that that's what Doctor Doom is going to be behind. Kind of like the Rivals game. It's believed that Doctor Doom has been manipulating the multiverse events and taking out the Kangs and purposefully did all of this. And that's how he's the penultimate villain. No, it wasn't Kang. It was Doctor Doom the whole time. And then all these universes are going to clash and then merge into one main universe from that point forward, which is going to be a hot mess with the writers they have now. Maybe if they still had talent on, but I have very little hope after the Eternals and some of the other movies that have landed that were just really bad. I'm getting depressed.
I don't know, dude. I think that would be pretty sweet. Now, you take the multiverse, which has futuristic worlds, has more past, nostalgia worlds, and then current time worlds. And if you end up merging all that together, that's going to make for some wicked stuff.
Yeah, true. We'll see. We'll see what we get. Well, that's all I can say is we'll see what we get. But my hope is when they merge, Pedro Pascal gets replaced with the other Mr. Fantastic. Because I'm sorry, I'm not feeling that guy. And, I don't want to see him stretching. That's just the only way to make it grosser. Like, there's more Pedro Pascal on the screen at once. And he's not a bad guy, personally. But he plays roles that I do not like. He kind of emasculated versions of male characters. He's not really good, man. I'm sorry. He's just not. Not in the roles they're putting him in. They keep putting him in action roles, and Pedro doesn't look like he can whip my 14-year-old son, let alone like zombies in The Last of Us or anything, and definitely not a superhero. He's not an action star. Put him back in dramas, man, and just stop. Worst thing that ever happened in Mandalorian is he took his helmet off, man.
I actually really like the Fantastic Four car.
Now that looks cool. I agree. Very period piece, very awesome. And like I said, Sue Richards and Johnny look good. Grimm may look better in action than he does here. Okay, I mean, I don't know. He's probably not.
There you go. Right there, man.
There you go. That's a little better. That's been in a hat, in disguise that obviously never worked. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we'll see what we get. But I'll try to paste a different face on the Mr. Fantastic because Pedro ain't doing it. They just need to know.
I mean, at least the face for Ben is a lot better than the face from the last Fantastic Four movie. True. Where he had the derp face, you know.
Yeah. No. Like he looks fairly comic book accurate except for the size. Like I said, I'm used to Ben being broader, but you are right that it's varied by the artist a lot. So not a big deal.
But yeah, so I think that's going to be it for us, man. We're going to wrap up here. I've got to go and drive to Atlanta for work, so I got to get out of here, guys. So sorry about the short episode, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and just remember, stop casting Pedro Pascal as heroes. Or warriors. Or action people.
You know.
Or men.
I mean, dude can't even keep a helmet on when he needs to.
And then he takes it off, and he just looks like, I thought he at least would have tried to look tough, but he pulls it off, and it's just derpy Pedro. Like, he didn't even, like, grim it up, man, or nothing, and just mad, like, no, he takes it off, and it's just Pedro, like, hey, look, it was Pedro. And I'm like, dude, put the helmet back on. Like, you were so much cooler. I'd probably be a Pedro Pascal fan if he kept the helmet on. But when he took it off, I immediately had to tell myself, that's not the dude under the helmet. And just forget that he was under it. And then I'm like, oh, we're getting Joel, tough Joel, no-nonsense Joel, who didn't really want to take this kid, but slowly came to care about her over the time that he was doing this and changed his mind. Rough around the edges, traumatized Joel. And then he's like, nope, it's Pedro. You look at me. I've got Ellie. Oh, God.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you find links everywhere we're online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy. And then in Gladiator, it's like, oh, look, it's Pedro.